Okay. First unscripted video. Take like 5. But I kind of, as the title says, it's mostly about how I came to like Leandros and some experiences I have with him in the 40k universe, and like how he was a major part of me liking 40k and getting into the series more. So this is like a Leandros appreciation post over some shitty footage of me trying to paint an orc boy and the base. So I hope that y'all will come to enjoy this. I'll put some background music, of course. But so I originally got into 40k because one of my dear friends or close friends would post very often about 40k in another server I was in at the time, and I would kind of like lurk there. I am always a lurker. I lurk like a shark, as I always say. But I would lurk there, I would see the art he would post and everything, and I would get curious about the designs and the lore of it, and I would see him and another friend interacting with each other about the lore, and I would slowly gain interest in it. It was like a year. A year later, I played Space Marine 2's campaign for the first time. And with like no context to anything or who the characters are, it was a doozy of the first game. I was like, wow, this is insane. This is great dopamine. I love this. This is great. But I played through the campaign. I had the end spoiled for me, of course, but I really liked the characters and the development that there was. Without any context, I was like, wow, there's a lot of lore and there's a lot of like character development, even in like the span that you don't get, right? And I would go on for the next like year or so, playing just Space Marine 2 multiplayer, not really thinking much about it. And then I played the campaign again, and I was like, I kind of want to know what happened previously, because like they keep alluding to like a previous game, and then I found out there was another game. I went into that game completely blind, and let me emphasize, even before I played the first game, I liked Leandros. I don't know what was the original grab on me, but I really liked his character. It seemed to me like he genuinely cared a lot for like not only Titus but like his brothers, and of course like he's an Astartes, so it's gonna be different than like a regular chaplain. But I don't know, I really loved his character, and like I think like people hate him too much for who he actually is, but that's another time. Back on topic, I played the first game in a 7-hour stream, or a 6-hour stream, one of the two. And during that stream, I was paying attention to the game, of course, but I had a main fascination with a certain somebody. He was so cute back in that game. But I remember playing the game, and during the campaign, I was like, it's kind of striking to me how different the characters are. Like Titus specifically, when he spoke to the baselines or the humans in the first game, he was so gentle, he was so soft in speaking. It's like he still kind of like had the hope. It was like before the breaking that the Inquisition did. It kind of hurt a part of me. I was like, wow, this sucks playing it backwards, because it's like, geez, dude, this is what he used to be like, and it's insane. Leandros, of course, was like younger. He was strict by the rules and everything. But in the situation that Space Marine put us in, I really feel like anybody who says that I would have done it differently if I were in his shoes would be like partially lying, if I may say. Like, I'm heavily opinionated here. I'm just going to say that right now. Heavily opinionated. Like, if your commanding officer basically did the impossible, which is like come in direct contact with the warp and come out unscathed. Like, especially after the heresy, I feel like you would be rightfully suspicious, and Titus himself said that. He's like, this is suspicious, I'm not gonna lie. Because again, that's unheard of. Unless you're like chaos tainted or like you're legitimately a heretic, there's no possible way for that to happen. It's undocumented, it's unheard of, it's literally like impossible at the time. So I honestly feel like with the first instance, it could have been like, oh, okay, maybe something's going on there. But even so, he would have the possibility of like corruption maybe going on. But again, throughout the game, it like happens more times again, sometimes directly in front of Leandros and the other Astartes. I forget his name. Kill me. But honestly, coming in direct contact with power source and the power of what's his face, the one big bad, the boss of the game, and everything, and not only that, but being called brother by it, which I am pretty sure Leandros like somewhat heard of, because he was in the cutscene, he was like directly behind him, so there's like no way. There's no way. I feel like he was right in his means of being suspicious. He went about it a little indirectly and very much so against the rules, but again, Titus had been like, don't interpret the codex so strictly in the beginning of the game, and like you can be lax with it, but like he had been, granted he was a little bit more lax than usual with him, but you know, whatever. But people, I see a lot of people say that like, he doesn't think for himself, he's strictly code, blah 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 blah. But I feel like him telling the Inquisition was probably like his version of like taking Titus's words into like account and into heart, because like again, he defiled the codex, he disobeyed the codex and like the laws of this chapter by going straight to the Inquisition. But I also feel like a part of the thing that pushed him towards that was like genuine fear. I know like, oh, Astartes know no fear or whatever, but like there's a couple instances in the lore where it's like they do have fear. They're still human. They're not supposed to, but they still do. So it's like, if your Primarchs are not immune to betrayal by the Brethren, then what makes you invulnerable to that, especially after the heresy? So I feel like he did. I'm not gonna defend the action and be like, he did the right thing. He did the right thing. He did the right thing the wrong way. He could have done it better. He could have gone to the chaplain, gone to the chapter master or whatever. But again, this is an undocumented thing that happened, and it's like nobody had ever seen anything like this before. So I mean, you can't entirely blame him for not having like a documented reaction to it. Like unheard of stuff going on here. And then the second game, the first person who's like there to greet him and welcome him back is Leandros. And I feel like that's not only because he's the chaplain. Like, it probably could have been anybody, but again, it was Leandros that was the first to welcome him back, and the rites and everything. Like, he paid for, like, Titus paid for his penance, paid for whatever, even if he didn't have to, in the 100 years he was with the Inquisition and the Death Watch. And if I remember correctly, Leandros had, like, a vow of silence or whatever he had to do for, like, penance or whatever. Because of what he did, and he was punished for it. He was rightly punished for it, and I feel like people look past that. Like, he makes a great chaplain. I honestly see that, and with his character and the growth and everything, like it's important everything that happens in the 2 games, because it's like the first games he's young, he's naive, he makes a mistake. The second one, he's not so keen on making that mistake. He doesn't want to like immediately make the same mistake, because I'm pretty sure like a part of him regrets it, at least in my interpretation of it and how it feels, because like he takes Yadriel's and Chiron's words for it whenever they back him up. He doesn't go past that. He's not making the same mistakes. Younger Leandros wouldn't have cared, probably. Like, he senses corruption, he's afraid, he ducks out, like, it happens. But he's completely different now, and he like learned from his mistake, and he genuinely wants the well-being of his brothers. As like I love his character, I do. And it's like everybody hates him for that one mistake, but we have other characters to hate, like Erebus, come on. I will always be a Leandros defender, not only because it's like I really like his character, and I feel like he's overhated for like a mistake he made when he was younger and he paid for, but I don't think it should foreshadow his character as a whole. You know what I mean? I don't know, but he's very silly, very he's kind of cute, you know, in my opinion. But I think another part is that like I kind of attached to him during some like a turbulent time that I was going through, so he's kind of like he's kind of like a little buddy bond that I got going on. So I like him a lot regardless. I don't know, I used to write a lot of stuff with him, and I think like I have a 10K word document on him, and I wrote that when I was going through like a really hard time in my life, so I feel like that also helps with like the attachment a little bit, probably. But like genuinely, I adore his character. Number 1 Leandros lover and defender over here. I'm gonna put that in the title. Take that. Anyway, the first unscripted video, it's not very long, but I wanted to do something like a little bit personal and a little like get to know me sort of thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Next video will probably be way out there, but I wanted to make like an Outlast one. If there's any content that you guys would like to see from me on YouTube, which I'm going to post this on, you are more than welcome to post about it either in my Discord or in the comments or whatever. Yeah, I would love to see what you guys would like. I could do like a Q&A sort of thing, whatever you guys want. I'll take a look at and look into. Aside from my streams, because I do want to do more than just my streams for content, but this is a first. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.